What's up, guys? Oh, it's focusing.
Yeah, there you go. Now.
Nick and Dan, Streetcar Shenanigans. We are doing an impromptu video on Gary Stewart's 67
projects. Yeah, right.
So this car was brought to us with, I mean, it was a full rotisserie restoration, I'm pretty sure.
Prior, yeah.
I mean, it pretty much did the whole thing. So just a quick little walk around. I mean, it's got about every part you can imagine on it. We've stripped it pretty much down to nothing. So we ripped all the wiring out of it. We got a new harness for it. Here's the old one, show you.
Rat's nuts on the floor that we had to sort through, which was whole lots of fun.
Just junk. Just a bunch of junk. So anyway, instead of kind of walking you guys through step by step everything we're doing to what we're working on, which kind of can get really boring, so we understand that. So we're just kind of showing you what we're doing, what we just finished, and I'll post some videos on what this looked like before it looked as good as it does now. But here's the gauges. We just redid the whole back using weather pack connectors. Insulate everything. I mean, I'm certainly no professional, but I think it's a lot better than what it was. So I think that's acceptable. Yeah, only took us like 6 hours to fix the garbage that's there. Hey, man. What up? So next what we're going to do is we're going to lay out the main harness and get that straightened out so we kind of know where that's going to go, where we're going to have to put any brakes in it, where we're going to mount the fuse box. Because they made a whole bunch of garbage mounts before, so try to get that squared away too. So we'll keep you updated and we'll show you the progress that we're making. What's up, guys? We're back at it again today. We're working on Gary's 67. This is just a continuation of the vlog, just showing you guys what we're working on. It's really tempting to just kind of take a break and work on our own project. If you haven't seen that one yet, that's the 94 Cobra we're working on. We have a couple early episodes on this car, so if you haven't seen it yet, just check it out what we're doing. It's kind of low production and stuff. We're trying to kind of step up the vlog and the information that we're providing, but also not be too informative. So we'll actually have an update on the engine, but here's just a sneak peek. We do have it in the car, and we have some accessories going on, and it's going pretty well. But what I really want to do is just kind of show you how we're doing the wiring in the 67. And everything was really just kind of half-assed and backwards. So if we look at, actually pulled a good example for you guys over here. There's about 4 different ways that this car could have burned down, and really surprising that it didn't. And this is kind of one example. Now this was the fans. He called me one day and said that the car overheated while he was washing his car and he never heard the fans turn on. So it does have an Atomic MSD. Now the Atomic MSD should be able to control not only the fuel pump, the fans, which actually has a ground, it switches the ground. And the people who originally hooked it up tried to switch it with a power wire, and they eventually ended up just putting an aftermarket thermostat on it. My pile of parts. And that fixed it. Well, of course that would fix it. It works as standalone. But the MSD Atomic, part of the reason you pay a lot of money for it is so you don't need to do stuff like that. So the reason why the fans didn't work when he called me, however, was this little baby right here. Let's see if I can get a kind of a better image. So that's one. They connected the high speed and the low speed. That burned, melted. It's beautiful. And then this goes to the AAW harness that we put on it. Or that I should say that we're putting a new one on. This is the one that they put on previously. So now just to kind of show you how we're doing some of the harness. This is just kind of temporary mock-up, but you know, we did put, it's not a wrap. It is slide through all the way. Heat shrink on both sides. Everything's being soldered. Nothing's touching anything. They put a post for power, and we got to put a new one for the ground right here. We're gonna fix the new one for the ground right there. And so they did run a power supply up here But they only ran a 6-gauge ground wire up here, which actually melted to the frame of the car and melted a bunch of stuff with it, which is no good. This is power brakes that we kind of want to move, but as of right now it's going to stay. We just got to clean up some of the wiring on this as well. And then we just got done kind of tidying up the harness for the MSD, kind of putting some wrap on everything. Since we're using timing control, it only really needed one here, so I put a weather pack connector on it so you can still pull the carb off relatively easily. The other one is temp sensor, and then I got to plug in the distributor because it does still use that one. This is kind of the stuff they were using, and this one actually kind of fit halfway decent. It's still garbage. I'll probably do it, but we got to pull the distributor out to fix the intake later, so I'll kind of worry about that later. But now we will get the MSD to control the fans. We got that all hooked up. Got the coil wire all wrapped up nicely. Still got to do some ends on it, if you can see that. So we got some extra length, and that's going to run down with a few other wires. The headlight harness and everything's going to get tucked in along this. But just to kind of show you, that's where we're at. This is some more junk that came out of it. So one of the big things they did was they used this slide-on sleeve, which it's hard to work with, but once you do it right, it looks nice. But they use, you know, a 5/8 or even a 3/4 inch size for, you know, only 3 wires. And it starts to look really baggy and really not good at all. So we're gonna get back at this one, and we'll give you an update once we get some more work done on it. We can share with you what we did and how we're doing on it. Rather than setting up the camera and just you guys watching us work like we kind of did on the other videos, we just kind of want to set it up as more like, hey, this is what we're doing, this is how we did. So give us a comment below if this is kind of more the format that works and if you guys like this better, or if you'd rather set up a time lapse of us just kind of cranking away on it. We might do a little bit of mix, we'll throw that in there as well. We did get a new camera, and we still got the old GoPros, so we're going to kind of play that into it as well. But I'm excited to use this new camera. This is I'm not using a Canon G7X Mark II, and it's kind of stepping up the video quality, if you guys can tell. I mean, it's really kind of nice. So I'm excited with where we're going, and I'm really excited to get this thing running and out of here. Good evening. So we're back. When we started this episode, it was dark outside. And then it got light outside this morning when we were working on the car again. And now it's dark outside again. Over Dan's back. And he's doing the same thing he was doing yesterday, which is fixing the gauge cluster. Because he put his fat finger on what, Dan? What'd you do?
Gauge face.
Might have touched
little OCD kicks in then.
We saw a little smudge once we assembled the gauges. Dan said that there's a smudge on the oil face. This is like a little custom setup they made. Somebody else did this, we just kind of repaired it. But it's autometer gauges cut to fit like a factory gauge cluster type thing. Not a huge fan, but it's good enough. Anyway, so there's a smudge on the oil pressure gauge and we fixed that. So far we actually started getting the main harness in now. Give you guys a quick update. Once again, we're kind of running it like a modern Mustang would be on the driver's side and the fender well. Got the steering wheel out, but we're starting to get everything in here. So that's where we're out the fuse, relay, still tying up everything. So we decided to put the Atomic this time. Don't mind our mess on our mid-projects. So now we're going to be working on this for another couple hours, call it a night, and then we'll be back at it tomorrow morning and evening. Hopefully we'll be done wiring this thing soon. Dan wants to finish his car like now because our next major project is, if we don't have enough of them already, is putting a full Maximum Motorsport suspension. And what else are we doing to your car? Ported blower, E85 fuel system.
Blower.
Everything besides the new blower.
More or less.
Because that's like next year maybe.
Yeah, probably.
We got
fuel system, suspension system.
Yeah, she's gonna be nasty. He's got an 03 Cobra. He'll be on the channel soon. We're gonna review it stock. We're gonna take it to the track on Friday. Hopefully this video's out before we take it to the track, so I don't know what it's gonna do, but anyway. We'll keep you guys updated. Thanks.
Bye.
Do I need to say good morning? That we're here again? Or that we're working on a 67 Mustang? Do we need to say any of that? Or should we just break to the update?
They know.
So we did source some battery cable that was going to be a holdup for us if we were going to finish this weekend, but luckily, shout out to Antioch Auto Parts, Napa. It's probably the best Napa auto parts in the whole country.
Oh,
and we would challenge you to prove us wrong, because I think it's maybe not even the best Napa, maybe just the best auto parts store in general. Not really performance oriented, but if anything else you need, they're pretty good about it. That should be a plug.
Yeah, you can't talk about Summit though, because that's not a comparison.
Yeah, although I get stuff.
Live by that.
Yeah, Summit Racing is the real MVP. Still got a mess everywhere. And what are we doing today? Try to get it all wired up.
Button up as much as we can. Engine harness.
Fuck.
Front clip harness.
So we were just totaling the amount of hours that we have into this project so far, and I'm not sure if I want to admit this, because I'm not sure if we're doing good speed or bad speed, but it's definitely cheaper to just pay to do it right the first time, because I think we just added up 50, 60 hours so far in complete teardown, removing the interior harness, cutting all the shit out of it, and now we're finally starting to get the harness back into it, although there's a lot of odds and ends that we fixed in between there. However, 60 hours is a lot of hours to be having into this project, so that is between two guys though.
Yeah.
So call it 30, 35 hours just with two sets of hands. So anyway, we're gonna go pick up some battery cable and hopefully get this thing wired up today. And we are seeing the end. The end is near.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, we're hoping.
So we're actually getting ready to put the front end back on this thing finally. It's been off for about a week. So I'm just going to show you the wiring that we did, how we tied it up, how it's affixed to the body, lots of zip ties, which is race car quality. And then we're going to throw the front end on it and kind of be done. We still have to do the whole interior and run the battery cables. And we kind of have to tie up all of our power and grounds. We kind of make a junction here. So we still got to tie all that up. So other than that, we are, yeah, that's what we're doing. So quick update. So MSD box was actually mounted here already. It had a tach adapter. However, it does not need a tach adapter with an odometer tachometer. So we got the headlights. All ran nicely. Harness for the MSD. This is just for the horn. It's the only one that's out by itself. This we did for all the fog lights and turn signals, and that they put some halos on this, which are incandescent halos, which look like a mess.
Yeah.
However, we did hook it up because they didn't work before, and now they work. But now it's just a nice little 2-plug system for the turn signals, grounds, and everything. So that's all ready to go. Follow it around, another headlight. I don't know if we'll be able to see this in the dark. Oh yeah, you can. So then we just came wrapped around here. And then into the car. And then it does have splash shields. So all the splash shields will kind of go up in here, end up in here. So you won't see that. But yeah.
Slowly making headway.
Yep. All the engine bay is done, so we got the coil hooked up, all the gauges are hooked up. We did a nice job there. Ran the oil temperature sender and oil pressure sender down. Water temp still even covered, even it's individual. Then all the MSD wiring is all tucked up behind the fuel line, so you can hardly see it. Turned out really good, Dan.
Yeah, a couple more little loose ends and then we'll be good to go. Finally.
We just want to fire it up. Just want to hear it run again, and then we got to put the stereo in it because the stereo's still out of it. So we got to tie up the interior, tie up some loose ends up here. Still have to run a full battery and ground cable, and fire it, run it, and then put the interior back together. But,
sadly, the radio is the issue that caused this whole problem.
yeah, right. And a 6-gauge ground wire that melted. But other than that, messed everything up. Anyway, so that's the update. That's going to be the end of this video for now. Hopefully the next video is going to be it running, driving, final walkthrough, video review, do the whole streetcar shebang on it. And we thank you guys a lot for watching this video. So we'll see you soon.
Peace out, guys.
That's the weekend is over beer. Wasn't really much of a weekend. We thrashed on Gary 67 all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Probably have a combined total of 30 to 35 man hours between me and Dan in it. But it's coming together really nice. We're finally adding wiring to it. Just to show you, I've already kind of packed it up, but the MSD box, if it was a mess, I'll put a picture up that shows what the wiring looked like for the front end before. And this is what the MSD box looks like now. So the only thing we really got to do on this as far as wiring is concerned is we do have to do the battery cables front to back. Got to do the stereo, so I got to order some stereo stuff for tonight so we can get it done this week. We have the interior still got to be put back together and wired. But as far as the outside, as soon as we get the fan relay on, and the power and ground cable ran, we gotta do the headlight harness, and that's pretty much it for the whole front end of the car. All the gauges are hooked up, sensors are hooked up, MSD's hooked up. So we actually made some pretty good progress today and this weekend. What's left is what's left, and hopefully this week this car will get out of here. So since we do a lot of our stuff on the weekends, I think we're gonna do like a weekend vlog, just kind of update on what we're working on. We do a few days a week as well. For example, this week, Justin Bay dropped off his 3550 and he really needs it done before Streetcar Takeover. Somebody must have told him that I rebuilt Chris's TKO in a day, and now we're getting some more requests for transmission rebuilds. So we're gonna get that handled, but I really gotta get the big project out of here because there's a lot of small projects that we have to get done as well. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys like the new format. This is kind of what we're going to do moving forward with the Cobra project, with Dan's Cobra, which is another project that's coming up really soon, and other miscellaneous projects that we have going on, and races that we're sponsoring, etc., etc. So thank you guys so much. I'm low energy, I'm trashed. I've been working on this all weekend. I'm just really toast. I'm burnt out on the garage 100%. I start a new job tomorrow. That's really important. So I'm calling it an early night at 9:30. Get my thoughts together, get my stuff together, and get ready to leave in the morning. So thank you guys once again for watching, and if you haven't seen the new Streetcar swag, check it out. It's pretty good stuff. So thank you guys again. We'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.